It is TVU's Most Wanted. I'm Jared. A Plea for Purging is on the show, as promised. One last time, boys. One last time. I mean, except for you. You're going to come work for us, right?
It's true.
Yeah. Andy's taking over because the band's breaking up. Man, why'd you guys break up? That's lame.
I don't know. I was going to try to lie, but we're just all old. I'm not even good enough on the spot to lie about things anymore. We're old, and our brains don't work. Mine never really works, but it's just daily getting more disintegrated in there.
I have a feeling that you guys have told many different tales as to why you've broken up.
Yeah.
Can we just get like a short list of like the reasons you've given people? There's got to be a list.
Science.
Science? You broke up because of science?
Yeah.
That's a great answer, actually.
John was gonna do some dancing, I think. Leave the band.
Cryptozoology.
Crypto? What is that?
That's like the study of aliens and yetis and Bigfoot and stuff like that.
All right.
You can do that.
It's pretty cool.
And that's the list. That's a short list of reasons you break.
Few lies.
Few lies.
Few of the lies.
Science is the real reason, though. Like, that's it. Science is the reason you guys are breaking up. So, how's the final tour been?
It's just god awful, man.
Really?
It's just
being honest.
so
It's
bad.
This tour sucks.
Just like, you know, like when you decide you want to break up, it's because you don't want to tour anymore. But then you come to this conclusion that you don't want to tour anymore. So what do? You go on another tour to tell everybody how much you hate touring.
Right.
And so then you have to get on stage every night and be like, hey guys, we really hate being here. Thanks for coming. We don't want to be here. We're never coming back. This is your last time.
But kids get really excited about that, though, right? I mean, like,
Yeah.
I know you're being somewhat facetious, but there's some of that there. Like, there's some of that, like, you just don't want to tour anymore. And I love your honesty. But there's got to be some good things about the last tour, right? Like, you get to see your fans for one last time, right?
It's totally cool. It really is. I mean, like, there's all of the obvious little things about touring that everybody doesn't like anymore. But the fact that we get to go to we kind of did a different thing than like a final tour, and we just kind of like decided to only go to towns that we really wanted to go to.
Okay.
And play some shows for some people that we're gonna miss, kind of thing, you know. So like, we've been able to play a few cities so far that like really meant something to us, and like those are kind of emotional in the fact that those are some people you may never see again ever, you know. So those shows are really cool, and then you might have a couple filler shows here and there. They're just like, oh yeah, this is why we're not touring. Right. You know?
This is why we're not doing this anymore. It's your fault. That's why they broke up, all right? It's all your fault. A Plea for Purging is hanging out with us on TVU's Most Wanted. More with them is coming up. It's TVU's Most Wanted. I'm Jared, and this is A Plea for Purging. Hanging out with me on the show before they don't tour anymore. How am I supposed to recover from that? You guys are so mature. I feel like your mom right now.
Yeah.
Real mature, guys.
Very mature.
John's out of here. John's out of here.
The funny thing is, the mic's right here. Sure, we got all that.
Oh man, let's take a stroll down memory lane for a second here. You've talked about how you're a little bit bitter. You don't like touring anymore. You just don't like playing shows. I'm sure there's a slew of shows that have turned you guys into touring cynics. So I want to know, like, what was the show? The show that was just like, this show sucks, man. This was not a good experience. This was not positive.
Oh, we have a few terrible shows. Hopefully some kids at those shows aren't watching this. One of the ones that goes down in history is we played Conway, Arkansas one time. It was on tour with 100th and Vania, maybe? Was that it? Great tour, really fun. Just terrible show, though. The vibe was terrible.
Okay.
Kids didn't care. It's
Well,
just
they had
like...
been asking us to come for
Oh,
a
yeah,
long
it was a
time.
bad... It was too... It's like 45 minutes from Little Rock. We always play Little Rock, and Little Rock rules.
Okay.
And all these kids from Conway were like, don't go to Little Rock, come to Conway, because we want to see you. And I don't know why they can't drive 45 minutes, but they're like... I even tour managed a different tour where we went through there, and they're like, please bring your band through here. And I was like, okay. We're going. This is going to be awesome. Show up, it's the worst show. It's just not fun, just angry all night long about how terrible it is. Just terrible. One of the first tours we ever did, we played in Cape Gerardo, Missouri, at a place called Enchanted Forest, and we literally
The Enchanted Forest?
yeah, and you
Upstairs.
have to carry all your stuff up this terrible like fire escape thing, and you get up there. There's no air conditioning, dead of summer. We played to not one person was in the room.
Nobody was
no
there.
one.
We
We
played our
practiced.
songs.
There were 9 bands
Played
on
our-
it, Bill.
Yeah.
Not one band watched us.
Yeah, that's bad. There was 9 bands. None of them watched us play. Not even like usually if there's a bad show, at least you watch the other bands.
Right.
We were in a room by ourselves. The sound guy wasn't even in there.
What?
And it was just us, and we're like, "Oh, you guys want to run over some songs we haven't ever played?" You know, like it's literally a practice.
And there was a
like-
side room to where people were hanging out.
Yeah.
Also, so you could kind of see around the corner, and everybody's hanging out, having a good time, and we're supposed to play.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it was bad.
So
That should have kept us from. That was like 7 years ago. We should
Right.
have gave up then.
But that was close to the beginning, right? So like,
Yeah.
okay, like we'll push through.
It's one of those, dude, when you first start touring, you're like, we're gonna play no matter how many people are there. It doesn't matter for the love. Last night, I'm like, guys, you guys wanna cut some songs? You know, like.
It's your final tour. You're like, we don't have to play this many, do
We've
we?
changed. I've changed. Terrible, terrible human.
Oh man, what was your stage banter like? Usually you talk like between songs. You probably didn't talk much between songs.
At
that's it.
that show,
Yeah, just talk to each other.
I think it's like no microphone. Like, hey, dudes, like, you guys want to try to play like slang or something?
What do you think would have happened if you'd have just like not played?
No
I
one
don't-
would have cared.
No,
Nothing?
No.
It's probably one of those things where we probably had like a $25 guarantee at that point or something. So it was like, we've really got to get this $25, guys. Like, we are not going to be able to make it to wherever.
The next show to
day.
play for 4 kids
Yeah,
and
yeah.
get another $25.
Yeah, totally.
Man, no wonder this tour, this last tour, is called "Quit Your Band and Get a Job." Like that's, there it is. That's the ugly side of touring. But there's good parts. Man, we'll talk about the good stuff next. Plea for Purging is on the show. It's TVU's Most Wanted. You are watching TVU's Most Wanted. I'm Jared. A Plea for Purging is here hanging out with us on the show. So we talked about the terrible moments, but there's got to be some moments that like stick out. Like, yeah, this show was awesome. Like 10 years from now, you'll look back and think, no, not such a bad thing, because these shows or these kids or these moments. What were some of those moments?
I can personally think of 2 of my favorite shows ever.
Okay.
Cornerstone 2010.
Okay.
No, 2000 was we played last year. 2011. Sorry.
Okay.
Cornerstone 2011 was just so awesome because the whole fest was kind of terrible that year.
Okay.
Like the numbers were down, and it was kind of like, just being honest, it's kind of depressing. Everybody was walking around mopey because it was
Sure.
like, there's no one here. There's only like 5,000 people here. You know, normally it's like 20,000 people.
Right.
It's just like, I was expecting our set to be terrible.
Okay.
And we got on stage, and it was like probably the best Cornerstone set we've ever had. Like,
Really?
super fun, super packed crowd, like really awesome. And then my probably second favorite show ever is we played at this venue called Void in Hamilton, New Zealand.
Okay.
And it was just the most insane, like stage dive, like crazy
Really?
punk rocker kind of thing. Like so fun.
Right
Just
on.
like to be in another, you know, country like that far away, and people actually like gave a crap about our band was like pretty
a lot,
insane.
cared a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, like a whole lot, enough to like risk getting hurt or something,
Yeah.
you know, to make it fun. So that was cool.
That's awesome.
Those are probably my 2
What,
favorite.
what about the rest of you guys? What
Just
are the
in
moments
general,
that stand out? Yeah.
Europe was awesome. Like, I
Okay.
mean, as far as amenities, like we slept on floors most of the time, and
Okay.
you know, we couldn't bring like sleeping bags or anything, so you had your jacket, and you had to decide if you wanted to use it as a pillow or a blanket on these hardwood floors a lot of times. And we were the
And that
oldest
was
guys.
awesome?
I mean, it was. It was like, oh, I'm so tired, and my back hurts, and I'm hungry, but I'm in Italy. You know, it was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
who cares? So it's
Yeah.
like, I'd rather be tired in Italy any day. You know,
Right.
like, it was awesome. Like, I think Europe was like a huge check mark for all of us as far as like our dreams and what we wanted to do with the
Cool.
band. So like that was huge for us, I
Yeah.
think.
Check that off the list. What about
Yeah.
you guys?
We play at this or played at this place in Owensboro, Kentucky called the Brothers Pizza, and we one show in particular. Actually, I think it was on the War of Ages headliner when they stuffed about 400 people in about 150 cap room. It was
Really?
Tons of kids.
Insane.
Insane.
Yeah.
And the Brothers Pizza, Owensboro, Kentucky, was by far one of our favorite places to play for probably the first 3 years of the band, and before it shut down.
Right on.
And so.
That's cool. Aaron, what about you?
One time we were riding the van.
That's it. That's the moment. There's one time.
One time we were riding in the van, and our old guitar player was complaining about us making fun of him, and so I decided I was going to fart on him. And then I decided, oh, this would be better if I pull my pants down and farted on him. So I farted, and sometimes more comes out than fart.
That's the moment.
And then
That's
he quit.
the moment.
And then he quit the band. That's my favorite.
His name's Lyle.
Sometimes farts are poop.
Right, it happens. So like everybody's like, man, this show was awesome. This place was cool. Europe was it. That one time when you
Yeah.
like accidentally crapped on your fellow band member.
That was the highlight of being in this band for me.
You know where
That was
the
it.
line is, right?
That's like that right there. That defines a plea for purging though. It's like
I'll never forget that. I'll forget a lot of stuff, but I will never forget that night ever.
that can be the moment. There's nothing wrong with that.
Ever.
That's awesome. All right, more of the plea for purging's coming up. It's Steve and W.